Welcome back to Chapter 9. Chapter 9, we're talking about torque. In simple terms, torque is very similar to rotational force. Force equals mass times acceleration. Well, torque equals inertia times rotational acceleration. If you remember, I kind of talked about this before, where I talked about how circular and linear things can be translated. So if I wanted to directly go from torque and force, I know that torque equals force multiplied by the perpendicular radius. That radius is really from the pivot point. That's why I'm alright calling it a radius, because it's the distance from the center of the rotation to the however far the force is. And we always care about that perpendicular force. Look at things that are conceptual if you have issues understanding why they need to be perpendicular. But a quick example I can give you is if you are holding open a door, the door doesn't move if you push parallel. So here's me at a door. Here's the hinge on the door. Looking down, bird's eye view. Here I am. I have to open the door like this. I either push it or I pull it. I never come up to a door off the side and try to open it that way, because it doesn't feel that force unless it's perpendicular. Isn't that wild? So this equation can be as simple as this problem up here. A rod is lying on a tabletop, or the top of a tabletop. One end of the rod is hinged to the table so that it's free to rotate on the table. So AOR is my pivot point. If the two forces are applied as shown, what must the angle theta be to provide a net torque of the hinge? So similar to forces, if all the sums of my torque is going to be what the object feels. So if my net torque is 0, that means that these all have to kind of even out. So 0 equals, let's start with this 38 here. 38 times my perpendicular distance, which they give us as r over 2. Now I have to decide if this 38 is positive or negative. If I hold up my pen and hold my pen at this end and push down at this force, my pen would go in a circle this way. That's clockwise. Clockwise means that it's negative. Counterclockwise is positive. Opposite of what you would normally think. But then I've got this 55 over here, which is what I want to know. It needs to be perpendicular, so that is this way. So that must be my sine of theta, also times 1 full r. If you don't like how that looks, you're one of those people that likes their sine of thetas at the end. So 55r sine of theta. Now I got to determine if this is positive or negative, so I'm still going to hold my pen here. My pen lays like this. If I push up, it goes counterclockwise, meaning this is positive. All right, let's simplify this up and solve for theta. If you're not super great on the whole algebra thing, let's scooch this other problem down. But that's all right. You've come to the right place. What I'm going to do is I need to get rid of these r's. So if I have a half and I have a hole here, I can cancel them out and put in a 2. Okay? Then I'm going to add 38 to both sides. So 38 equals 2 times 55 times the sine of theta. And divide by 2 times 55. I don't feel like doing all that right now. And then I'm going to take the inverse sine of this. So sine inverse to solve for an angle. Theta then equals, let's plop out the calculator because I didn't write this down. Inverse of 30 divided by 2 times 55. All right then. See. All right, 20 degrees. 20.2 degrees. When the calculator fails you. Failed me, calculator. All right. That's not the important part. The important part is understanding that your torques are going to be equal, just like your forces are all equal. It could be a little bit more complicated. You could have a whole lot more going on. Let's take a look. A uniform horizontal beam that's 5 meters long, at least they gave us that. The beam itself weighs 300 newtons and is attached to a wall by a pin. Great, that's nice. Its far end is supported by a cable that makes a degree of 53 degree angle with the horizontal. If a person weighing 600 stands 1.5 meters away from the wall, what is the magnitude of the tension in the cable? And what are the components of the forces from the beam on the wall? All right, so let's doodle. Let's draw us a picture. Here's my beam. These are like force diagrams, torque diagrams, if you will. This is my pivot point. I will mark that. On my pivot point, I have the components that the wall has. Okay, so we'll call this wall Y and wall X. I'm going to make this a little longer. At a certain point, let's say here, I have the person, which is 600 newtons. And I'm going to draw my distances in a different color. At 1.5, that's kind of thick. 1.5 meters. And then I also have right in the middle, because that's where we put our weight of our beams, is 300 newtons. And if it's 5 meters long, that means my distance from here to the middle will be 2.5 meters. All right, one more time. Put at the end, we have the tension in the cable, which we do not know, at a degree of 53. Boop. And that total distance will be my 5 meters. Gee whiz. All right, we've got everything we need. Now we need to make it into an equation. I like this purple. It's a nice purple. All right, so my sum and the torque is going to be, let's do each one at a time. So 600, because these are at my pivot point, I'm going to ignore them right now because the distance from them to my pivot point is 0. So when we multiply by 0, it's just 0. So we might as well just leave it alone. 600, I'm going to leave a little space in case it's negative, times my distance, 0.15, and that is already perpendicular. So I don't need to worry about my degrees or anything like that. So if I hold my pen and I push down, that means this is going to be negative, all right? 300 times the 2.5, that also is going to be negative. I don't need to worry about that. I'm going to scooch just a little. I want to still see it. Okay. If I hold my pen and go up that way, this is going to be positive. The T I need, the T I'm looking for, times 5 times the sine. Oh, my 5s and sines look very similar. Sine of 53. We're going to get a bunch of numbers here. So we've got negative 600 times 1.5. It's going to be a negative 900 minus 300 times 2.5. It's going to be 750 plus T times 5 sine of 53, which is 3.993 for right now. All right, and this beam is perfectly balanced, or at least I hope so. So we're not going anywhere. Boop. So that means it's going to be a 0. This is simple algebra. Negative 900 minus 750. And I'm going to move both of these to the other side with addition. So 16 50 equals T times 3.993. You could have left this 5 sine of 53 and solved it at the end. It doesn't matter. Depends on how precise you would like your answer. So my tension is going to be 3.993. About 413, and those are in good newtons. All right. Neat. So it could be as complicated as that. So how I would go about solving for the components, I would need to get all of my forces in the x direction and all of my forces in the y direction. So I'm done with torque. I already found the tension. I needed the torque to find the tension. I could not do this simply with forces. I needed this torque information. But everything after that is a simple force information. So let's go ahead and do that in green. So actually, let's just take my image. Well, you know what? We know what it is. I'll go off my image over here. So for part B, I want to find these. What is this force that the wall is feeling? You know, we all get stressed out sometimes. So I want to know the forces in the x direction and the forces in the y direction. So let's take a look. Forces in the x direction. We've got 1. It's this one over here. Because this is a good old triangle. It's going to be the tension times cosine of 53. My tension, which I just told myself, was 413. So 413 times the cosine of 53. And that should be it. About 249 newtons. Woohoo! That's it. That's the only ones over there. That's nice. Now, the y direction, that's a different story. Now we're only considering ups and downs to be positive and negative. So, downs, we've got negative 600 minus 300. Those are my negative forces because they're going down. And then plus t times the sine of 53. We already found t. So I'm just going to substitute that in. 600 negative 600 minus 300 plus 413. Oh, it would help if my calculator would work. 413 times the sine of 53. Awesome. 570. Ooh, that's big. But that's all right. 570 newtons. Ta-da! So we're learning a lot here in the world of physics. You already should have a good understanding of forces. And so we're taking those and we're just stretching out our force skills just a little bit more by adding this torque information. But it works the same. You just got circles now.